Hey guys, and welcome to a guide on how to tame an Astrodelphis in Ark Genesis 2. So the first thing you need to know is that you need to have element, and you need to have it in your inventory. Now, this has to be in the final slot of your inventory because you're going to be doing a passive tame, sort of, in the middle of the map where you can find the Astrodelphis. Now, in order to tame an Astrodelphis, you have to get near it and you have to press E to pet it. You're going to pet it and then it's going to go into like the taming process. And right after you pet it, you should be able to get next to it again and press E and you can feed it element. Now, it will feed it in huge increments like 1 element, 3 element, 5 element, 10 element, and every element basically adds almost a full percentage of taming, depending on the level of the Astrodelphis. So we're going to go up here and we're going to pet this one here. Approaching it from the side or the tail is the best bet because if you actually approach it from its face, it's going to attack you. And you literally just press E on it, and every time you actually feed it, it will swim away or float away or whatever you call what it's doing. And you can actually use your taming tracker to track it and see where it's going. You don't want it to actually aggro you and get like upset with you because you actually do end up losing some of the taming progress or the percentage. It can actually reset to 0 sometimes. So try not to approach it from its face. Like I'm doing in this clip here, approaching from behind or above is perfect. Hit pets, kind of stay away from its face as much as you can. Literally just spam E when you're next to it and eventually it will pet or it will feed it element and then boom, there you go. It took 10 element and it went up 10% taming progress to 16%. So I'm going to fast forward this until it's fully tamed. So now that we have a fully tamed Astrodelphis, you can make a saddle for it, but guys, the saddle requires you to be level 120. 120. That means you have to do some boss fights, since if you don't do boss fights, you're going to be capped at 100. So this does take a bunch of black pearls, crystals, element, metal ingots, and polymer to craft. Now put the saddle on this bad boy and pretty much let's talk about its abilities. So it basically has very average or low stats. However, it's capable of doing some really good damage. So in its base form here, it can just float around. It can do a biting attack. Pretty simple. That's pretty much all it can do. It just floats around in the air. It doesn't only float in the space biome. It can float in the Eden biome. It can also float in the Rockwell's Garden biome. So it basically floats wherever. It kind of just flies and floats. But the real power comes in when you put element and grenades into its inventory, guys. With those in its inventory, it can still do a biting attack, but this time you can press control and you can basically go into like a starship fighter mode. You're literally a fighter jet, dude, like with extreme control. It's really fun. I really like this. It's so cool. You can actually do a bunch of different things with this. You can press control to turn it off again. It does use element to actually go into that like mode, and it only activates one element when you press it the first time, right? So you literally just stay in this mode to get some massive speed. You can press C to actually do a loop-de-loop, as you can see right over there. It looks amazing. You can go to the side by pressing double A or double D to, like, you know, left or right. You just like double tap that left or right and you can do that. It's really cool. It will follow your cursor. You can shoot, and if you hold in shoot, it will shoot a really strong bolt, and if you hold it in as well, it will actually auto lock on a target, both flying or ground, which is actually really cool. You can see it does 250 damage for the charge shot there. That's actually that's a lot, dude. That's really cool. But because we also have grenades in the inventory, we can right-click and actually shoot a grenade off. And when it hits a target, it will explode for massive amounts of damage. That's like 775 damage. But another cool thing with it is that when you actually shoot off the right-click, you can right-click whenever you want to make the bomb actually explode. You can actually do this against enemy bases or their walls, their turrets, whatever you want from a distance. And they actually don't shoot at your grenade. It will actually let it go off. It's actually pretty cool. But you have to be within turret range to kind of actually be able to shoot it off, because it doesn't just go like shoot as far as you want. You can like let it go off whenever you want, but when you let it go for as far as it wants, it goes about that distance, which isn't too far. Overall, this is a really cool dino, dude. I love this one. This is my favorite one in Genesis 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was fun. I hope you learned something new. If you do have any questions or tips, please leave them down in the comments below. I do reply to every single one, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Thank you so much for watching.